Hello, and welcome back to My Last Vinyl, the show where I like vinyls, I buy vinyls, and this is my last vinyl. This is Tears for Fears' second to latest album and was released in February of 2022. And it is actually my first picture disc. We'll start it all off with a bit of a story time. Yeah, it must have been in December of 2022 then, when me and my dad were going through our Spotify Wrapped together. He had this up very high. Pretty much every song on that top 5 list, I believe it is, was just the tipping point. And I asked him why, and the thing is, he has a bunch of vinyls, so he barely listens to Spotify. And because of him not having this at that time, he was listening to it on Spotify, and he enjoyed it a lot. So we got that intel at the start of December. I immediately contacted my brother, because we usually buy gifts together. And we synchronized that we were going to get our dad this vinyl, so we got the first release of it, and that is not a picture disc. I believe it's just a simple black vinyl with, if it even is this on the label, I don't remember. But yeah, we got him that, and then after that I got curious and wanted to listen to it myself. I don't remember exactly when this was, but it was a bit later, and sadly it wasn't selling anymore in the local stores, so I must have waited quite a bit, honestly. I just had to be patient. I always kept an eye out, looking if it showed up anywhere, but it never did. And then finally, this picture disc came out, and I was immediately interested because, as you can tell, it's a bit blurry now because I have a very weird configuration with all my outer sleeves at the moment, but it's a very fitting album cover to have as a picture disc, since they are all on some chairs like this and spinning around, and it looks cool. If there's anything I would want on a picture disc, then it's an album cover like this on it. Because usually it's just some movie poster if it's a soundtrack or whatever else, and it doesn't really serve its purpose. But yeah, so I got this picture disc. It's not my latest purchase. I have some more, that's just the name of the show. I will get to that. But when could I have gotten this? This was quite a while ago. I don't remember exactly when. I got it because it was finally on a sale, I believe. So it costed me 139 crowns at the time, which was quite good. And I believe it also helped that I had the patience to wait. And I just added it to my want list so that I could keep an eye out and see whenever something new came out about it. And I'm very happy I did, because I like this picture disc. It is a fair enough pressing. I'm not too used to picture discs, so I'm not sure how much worse they are. But this one it's good enough to be able to listen to. But the thing is, I don't listen to it that much, because I like the album cover and everything. I like some of the songs, but it's not a whoa album according to me. If we look at this, as I said, it's a bit of a weird configuration. We have the picture disc in its own little sleeve, and then we have the album cover, what you'd call it, the original sleeve here. It's this weird kind of plastic, and first of all, my dad recommended that I do not put my disc immediately into this one, but then also me personally, as you can tell by how stretched out this is, it is really, really snug fit, and it's like pressed out along the corners. So every time I want to put it down and then bring it out again, I first of all had to adjust this paper thing in the bottom, because it's a backside and a front, so you have to get in between that, while this plastic isn't slippery at all. And then you want to get the people spinning around just a little bit, right? So I asked him if I could get another type of sleeve I can put, but I still want to see this Tears for Fears, the tipping point, because just having a standalone vinyl like that doesn't feel right. And then we have this, just to keep it all together. And finally, we have the vinyl. And I really like this album cover. Like, it's still the album cover. I don't know how to refer to it when it's a picture disc. I'm not used to them, as you can tell. But in the front, I don't remember exactly which character is up in the actual album cover, but here you go. So you understand, having them spinning around like this is quite fun. And then on the back, the B-side, we have the old crew coming back together. Because as I understood it, they had a bit of a falling out, so some of the songs are about that. Some other song is about one of their wives passing away, I think. I don't remember exactly. But it's quite a lot of deeper meaning behind the lyrics. Put it back into the sleeve. Better not be stupid about this, otherwise you get a scratch. I wrote down my favorite songs of this. It was quite a complicated choice because, as I mentioned, this isn't a 10 out of 10 album according to me. Some of the songs feel a bit flatter, like more of an interlude, and yeah, I'm sure I'm more used to rap and such, as you can tell. Yeah, I don't know what it was, it just felt a bit... nothing that really stood out to me from some of the songs. But I believe I have 5 songs that I added to my liked songs list, which, even though I don't listen that much to my liked songs list, that is just my mark of approval, being like, yeah, I can imagine getting back to this song, and I kind of mark it as well for when I go to a vinyl store, because then I can just easily bring up Spotify and see how much of this album did I really enjoy. So out of those 5 songs, I tried to pick out 3 tracks that I liked a bit more, that I remember more clearly. So first of all, the opening track, No Small Thing. This is a tune that I find myself walking around just singing a bit every now and then. It's catchy, it has some good lyrics, it feels powerful, you know. And then we have Master Plan, same story there, it also feels very powerful. For the final choice, I was first looking at Break the Man, but we have this thing called Melodifestivalen, the Melody Festival in Sweden, which is our competition to get into Eurovision Song Contest. And all of those songs have the same build up, you know. It starts a bit slow and then suddenly get thrown into, well, in this case, To Break the Man. Yeah, I can't sing, but you get it. And then it goes down a little bit and they start singing like softly, and something about this song just reminds me of that Melody Festival vibe. And it is a vibe that I have heard my whole life, because Sweden does this contest every year and it gets a bit old. So instead, I was looking at The Tipping Point, the title track, or Long 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 Time. I don't remember if it's 3 long or 2 long. Either way, one of those tracks have to land in my 3rd place, and I believe it's leaning, I better say tipping more to The Tipping Point. But I also enjoy Long 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 Time, so since I haven't decided, I believe Long 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 Time deserves an honorable mention. The reason why I hadn't gotten around to listening to Tears for Fears before, I don't really know why. It hadn't been that active in my mind, because it has always been quite relevant in my home here. Tears for Fears. I've always heard Everybody Wants to Rule the World and all those most popular tracks, and my dad has, I believe, pretty much every vinyl from them except for the 2 latest albums. That's why it was such a big thing that he didn't have this one as well. It took me quite a bit to get around to listening to them, and I'm happy I listened to this. I believe I have to listen to some of their older, more classic things, but I'm happy they got together again, or what the story now is, to make this album, because there are some really nice tracks, and just in general, it's what I would call a good vinyl album, even though there are some skips, according to me. When you put this picture disc on, it's just spinning there. It's quite a nice album to have to put on, especially when it's raining. I feel like I'm rambling now, but I hope you get what I mean. The fact that I actually got inspired to listen to this track through my dad was quite fun. It was a different experience, and it was also really fun that Christmas, being able to give our dad an album that he actually didn't have on vinyl and that he really wanted. So that was quite a lot of fun, and it led me to getting the picture disc, so I'm happy to have this in my collection. And yeah, that was The Tipping Point by Tears for Fears. And I'm curious, have you listened to it? And if you're more of a hardcore Tears for Fears fan, then please give me some insight into these theories that I've had throughout this video. And what did you think about this album? If you're curious to see the music or other projects that I have going on, then please go down to the description below and check out all of my links. I post videos the 14th every month at 2 p.m. CEST, I believe it is at the moment. Yeah, because it's summer. Oh well. So please subscribe if you'd like to see more from me. Otherwise, a comment or a like helps a lot to spread my content. But do not worry, this is not my last vinyl. That is just the name of the show, and there are lots more to come. Thank you for your time, thank you for watching, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one. Take care.